Goku vs. Daishinkan. The great priest starts to smile and says,
"Does that mean that you decided to fight me again to complete your training in the Son Goku Heavenly Palace? You must have forgotten that just now when you decided to fight me at Broly's side, you couldn't do anything in battle. You should pay more attention."
At that moment, Goku starts watching and says, "Great priest, I know that you are the one above all, but if I am in a war where all beings are extremely powerful, I need to show even greater performance, and I believe that I will be able to get stronger and stronger." The high priest begins to laugh. Maris smiles and speaks.
"Goku really is amazing. No matter how strong the enemies he fights are, he always shows his performance and starts to raise his power more and more. Well done, Son Goku. Show what you're really capable of."
Broly analyzes the situation and says,
"It seems that I managed to control my power more and more. Is this the skill level I reached? I only want to show those beings who are my enemies. It won't be enough to train against any other warrior. Be an angel, that is, whoever fights against me, I will show my true ability and what I am really capable of. I'm Broly the Saiyan from Universe 7.
At that moment, we can see that Broly's abilities were getting higher and higher. Broly's powers were reaching another level. It seems that it was time for us to see the Saiyan level being higher and higher. The High Priest says,
"Well, that means you want to show all your power by fighting me, don't you, Goku? I'm really curious to know what new skill level you got."
Goku starts to smile and says, "In fact, I had already managed to use it once in the Room of the Gods when I trained with Gon, but for a short time I thought it was too risky." The High Priest starts watching with an astonished face and says,
"You mean that even when he fought all these enemies, he was still hiding his power? He hadn't used all of his strength, and now he's showing all that performance. You really are a fascinating being, Goku, but what are you keeping in the middle of all this?"
A small flashback begins to appear. Goku and Gon in the Room of Time. Goku, when he was next to Gon, he had taught Gon every technique he knew about mastering Ultra Instinct. Gon says, "Father, you yourself not having heavenly blood, you managed to raise your power higher and higher. Your skills really are amazing. Does that mean then that's all the power you have? If you use this in battle, you could definitely defeat any enemy that was." At that instant, Goku says, "Using these powers really is a double-edged sword. In the same way that I can be winning a battle, my energy can reach its maximum and at the same time run out. If I run out, I won't be able to defeat anyone else. Then we would have a lot of problems when they were involved in all of this. Can you understand? We need to analyze this whole situation." Gon, when fighting Goku, he's amazed to see Goku's maximum power level. Goku faints. Moments pass after Goku wakes up. Gon is fascinated. "This is my dad, and I need to get a lot stronger too. I'm sure we'll be stronger together." Back to current times. Goku looks at the Great Priest and says, "Great Priest, I was really saving that skill to use against the strongest. So please, see and appreciate all this power of mine. Let's start." Alright partner, why don't you whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any videos and stay well connected to our entire universe of Z Warriors. Let's get back to it. Planet Beerus. Beerus starts to question himself and says, "Whis, Goku and Broly are taking a long time to get here. This comes across as a joke. I had already warned. Goku should just bring Broly here. He's one of the war potentials, as the two must be taking their time. A big threat might have appeared now. Just now I felt the energy of the destruction cats. Sure enough, they were attacked by them." Whis starts laughing and says,
"Mr. Beerus, calm down. You know very well that their energy is no longer on the planet of the destruction cats, much less on the planet Vampire."
Whis creates a vision directly from his staff where it shows that Goku and Broly are on the planet of the Grand Priest Palace. Beerus says, "Are they still training and wanting to get more powerful? That war is near. The angel meeting is probably about to happen." What's going on with that? The meeting of the angels is very close. Let's analyze the situation. It can get more and more intense. At that moment, everything seemed to be going smoothly, but we can imagine that very powerful beings have not yet appeared. In this heavenly war, we don't know how long it will last, and much less how things will work. But we are getting into a fight where it differs from a universal war. The celestial war is colluding between the mortals of the universe and the angels. Some demons are getting involved, but we have to know, and it has to be okay. Of course, there are still other realms and other beings that are not getting involved, and that still manages to be my biggest fear. Whis watches and speaks.
You mean after this war is over, regardless of who wins, could another threat still appear? We will need to analyze all this very carefully. Let's try to really understand what will happen.
Many reflections begin to be created. Many points begin to be questioned. Goku begins to increase his powers more and more inside the Grand Priest Palace. Light years begin to shudder. We can see that Beerus starts to smile and says, "It means then that they will get more powerful? This is interesting. Whis, how long has it been since I trained?" Whis responds,
"Millennia, we can say, Sir Beerus. But don't tell me that."
At that moment, Beerus asks Whis to prepare the ground in the room of the gods, that the god of destruction of Universe 7 will undergo a new training. Whis smiles and says,
"As you wish, my lord. The room of the gods will be ready in 1 hour for your destruction training."
Back to the Grand Priest Palace. Goku had activated the mastery of Ultra Instinct fighting the Great Priest. Goku began to increase his powers more and more. Goku has reached Ultra Instinct level 3 form. The High Priest begins to smile and says,
"So that's your skill. That's the strength level you want to do. Very well."
Goku starts to land several blows on the Great Priest, showing his real power. Goku is getting more and more powerful. The Great Priest is impressed, starts to launch several blasts of energy on Goku. Goku, with the mastery of Ultra Instinct, tries to dodge until the moment when the Great Priest manages to land a big punch on Goku. Goku says, "Looks like this guy actually has totally different powers. His skills are totally outsized. They're on another level. It really seems that his strength is far beyond that of anyone else. Good, let's see what we're capable of. We will see what will happen." The High Priest says,
"Goku, show your true energy. I believe that you will be able to defeat anyone, but you will still not be stronger than me."
The Great Priest begins to smile. The Great Priest begins to show various abilities. A lot of energy begins to be developed in front of Batalha. Goku raises a large blast of energy and launches it over the body of the Great Priest. Goku ends up losing his level 3 transformation. The Great Priest starts to smile and says,
"Well done, Son Goku. You had a much better performance. You even managed to get my clothes dirty."
Goku says, "Looks like this guy is really crazy. I couldn't do almost anything. The High Priest is very powerful." Goku weakened within moments. Meirus recovers Goku's energy. Goku returns to his normal state. At that moment, a presence appears in the palace of the Great Priest and says, "Daishinkan, Master Zeno is sleeping. What does that mean?" The High Priest says,
"Good. Among all, the only one I didn't want to be here was you. One of Lord Zeno's second personality. Lord Zeno, while he sleeps, let us work it out. Because this heavenly war will pass and it will need our help."
At that moment, Zeno-sama's first god appears in front of the great priest and Goku and speaks. "That's enough for me. You will fight me here now. If I win, I would be allowed to use magic to eliminate the universes, and I will end it all now. Otherwise, if you win, you can do whatever you want." Goku starts watching and asks what's going on. Meira says,
"This is one of Zeno-sama's gods, the one who is as powerful as the high priest."
The great priest prepares for battle. Zeno-sama's god gets into battle stance. Who will emerge victorious? 10 days ago at Zeno-sama's palace, those two beings in Zeno's palace who had practically never said a word are talking now. Every 1000 years pass, Zeno-sama sleeps for 1 year. Zeno-sama has had several battles, and that's why he was considered the one who was the creator of everything, because he could erase any universe whenever he wanted. Everyone who has a great magic level can have an advantage against warriors who have great powers. At this moment, we can see that there are some enemies within the other universes that have more power. Even then, Zeno-sama, considering the magic level of strength. For this situation, who resolves the battle are your two gods who are the essence of your forces. At that moment, one of Zeno-sama's gods talks about his master in his sleep. "It looks like a big battle is approaching. I can feel this energy. Perhaps it would be interesting if we ended it all now. But making a decision while Lord Zeno-sama is sleeping might not be the best decision to make. However, I do not trust 100% in the attitudes of the great priest. We have seen that woman in the past did many foolish things against all the gods. The high priest tried to help her, don't you remember?" Zeno-sama's second god says, "It seems that when one race is involved in another battle, it continues to work the same way. They will never be able to betray their own races. They will always want to unite with what suits them. But there's no way this mortal, Son Goku, Zeno-sama would certainly like the attitudes he made, but still, it's a little worrying. We would need to really understand how these fights were going to play out." Well, let's wait for everything that will happen. If any movement of the High Priest is performed, we will get involved. I advise you to stay here, as I go to the battlefield. We can only answer for present Zeno-sama, as alternate future Zeno-sama gods don't want to move. It reminds me of the last past battle we had. It seems that after millennia, we are going to use upper strength again. Information about Zeno-sama and the Grand Priest past is beginning to be explained. Back to present times. Goku is trying to understand why one of Zeno-sama's gods is standing in front of the great priest. Zeno-sama's god number 1 says, "Daishinkan, how long I haven't tested your powers. We will decide who will handle the situation going forward. I never agreed with the ideal of the angels, but the moment the angels had a protection agreement with the creator of everything, I never questioned. But at that moment, in Zeno-sama's absence, we will need to deal with a certain situation, don't you think? Zeno-sama is a child, and in many moments, we have to make the decision for him." At that moment, the great priest starts to smile and says, "I don't care what you want to do. I don't care if you think you can defeat one of the top 5 most powerful in the universe. You may come." At that moment, we can see that the great priest begins to raise his power more and more, and all the universes begin to shake. The high priest against Zeno-sama's first god, the one that until now has its powers unknown. The battle had begun. Great powers were being raised more and more. We could see that the heavenly strength level was totally different from others. Goku questions himself. "The race of the great priest, we already know that the race of an angel, but after all, what race are these Zeno gods? I can't understand who they really are." Meira, who watched everything, says, "Lord Goku, this is a very difficult situation. Let's just look. What will happen during this battle? It can really be something to worry about. Those two weren't supposed to be fighting right now. It looks like something or someone is trying to control it. At that instant, the high priest says,
I think you are very wrong. I'm not the real enemy, and it doesn't have to be just my way. It's just not right to erase other universes where other mortals have nothing to do. This is war. This is a time when we must seek to bring peace, and the best way to balance. I already said, when a god of destruction doesn't make the best decision, the decision that has to be made is the decision of the angels.
Zeno-sama's first god says, Do you really always believe that? As if the angels know what they are doing. If you stop to realize the reason for this great war was that most of the renegade angels had allied themselves with that woman. As they have the greatest strength, they ended up wanting to destroy everything. If millennia ago I had finished them all instead of you listening to your decision to seal them, this wouldn't be happening now. The great priest starts laughing and says,
It seems like it's no use. There's no way I'm still trying to talk to you. If fighting is what you want, well and good.
The battle goes on. Unknown galaxy, 8th Angelic Palace. Cypher begins to speak.
It seems that the plans are really going the way you said. You really know very well how to cause great intrigue.
The Mother of Angels says,
Sometimes you don't have to do much. Sometimes they just come into conflict. For being mortals, humans and gods try to reconcile. I didn't have to do anything. Techniques like Zyros's Kiss of Death and other abilities don't work very well here either. But this turns out to be extremely interesting. See the powers and see the skills they can show off. They will certainly become fascinating. Well, let's see how long or where the limit of the powers they show will be. At this moment, my son, it will be checkmate time. Checkmate is that moment when it doesn't matter what the decision is or what attitude either of them wants to show. They won't be able to solve anything.
Cypher starts laughing and says, Looks like my brothers had someone to pull. That intelligence and that audacity certainly came from you. Alright, let's wait. Huge shudders begin to happen directly in the Daishinkan palace. Goku begins to understand and wonders why they are fighting. Goku says, This is very strange. Does it seem like they want to get into a conflict or that someone is trying to do something? No, that cannot happen. Please, let's try to get into some context. At that instant, the high priest says,
You must pay close attention. You know everything that happened in the past and that there were other enemies that were much more powerful. It is not just to blame the angels for this.
Zeno-sama's first god says, If anything happens to Zeno-sama, know that the blame will fall on you all. At that moment, a huge explosion begins to happen. Goku again had activated his new transformation and says, Please stop! At that moment, the great priest and Zeno-sama's first god were surprised by the strength that Goku was showing. The high priest smiles. Zeno-sama's god remains serious. At that moment, Zeno's god speaks. What is this boy trying to interfere in our battle? The high priest says,
Are you the only one who hasn't noticed yet?
Zeno-sama's first god looks on and says, What do you mean? The high priest says,
It doesn't matter. How long have we been fighting here? This fight won't do anything. Possibly it would be a draw and time is running out. Analyze now the presences that are here. We can feel that there is someone else besides us in this room.
Zeno-sama's first god gets worried and speaks. It's not possible. At that moment, a big smile and a voice comes from a woman.
How long has it been, Daishinkan? Zeno's minion for so long.
The high priest makes a serious face. Goku asks, "Who is talking?" Maris makes a straight face and says,
Looks like the Mother of Angels has finally appeared.
The high priest stands face to face with the Mother of Angels, the one who was once reigning in the reign of angels beside her. Goku beside Broly, Maris and Zeno-sama's first guard are watching. Zeno-sama's first guard says, "So, because of my ambition to resolve this entire situation and challenge the high priest, I ended up not realizing you were here, right, Zakai?" Goku watches and says, "Zakai? You mean that's the name of the one who ruled all the angels?" The great priest starts to smile and says,
Exactly. Here we can see that Zakai is back with his power probably almost 100%. And all the battles that took place were just to strengthen her angelic and dark energy. How long it has been. It seemed like it would be nice never to see you again, but since you're here, to what do I owe your visit to? I find it very difficult for you alone to want to challenge all of us.
At that instant, Sakai looks at the high priest and says,
Don't rush Daishinkan yet. You are nothing before me. I have not engaged in any battle unlike you. The only one who is breaking the rules you create is yourself. After having used a divine redemption on the destruction cats and having eliminated half of them, but you should know that I already brought them back. But still, very audacious of you. Cypher is here with me. He could have challenged you, but I decided not to get into more conflicts. I just watched the things that were happening. The time has passed, but I don't think anyone managed to forget everything that happened in the past. You and a horde of angels decided to turn against even the angels themselves. Other gods of destruction who possessed such high powers ended up by my side. From that moment, we can see that Ziel will not accept anything you want to do against him. But still, many things can happen. Don't you remember how fascinating all that was in the past? Our race could be above all if you hadn't decided to follow Zeno-sama. Why did you do that? Explain to me, Daishinkan.
Goku doesn't quite understand what's going on. Maris watches and speaks.
Lord Goku, this is about matters of the past, matters only the High Priest knows. These are situations they went through millennia ago. The powers that the Great Priest managed to raise were very high powers. He knew that he needed to get stronger every time and that a big threat could still appear.
At that instant, the High Priest says,
What are you trying to say with all this, and what are you thinking of doing?
At that moment, the Mother of Angels starts to laugh and says,
I know that with you I could never count, so this time I decided to bring him, the being from the past, back here with me.
The High Priest changes his face to an angry one and says,
I mean, are you really going to do it? Does that mean you'll actually have that audacity? So it looks like you didn't just come here for the chat.
Goku questions himself. Who is this being they're talking about? What's happening? Who is he? Zeno-sama's first guard looks on and says, Looks like she's really going to do it. She will release the one who knows everything, or perhaps the true creator of everything. Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. Instant, Goku starts to speak. Zalama? How is he the true creator? I don't understand anything anymore. What's happening? But Zeno-sama and the High Priest, what do they have to do with it? Maris responds,
In addition to all these celestial wars, in the past there existed a being who was the creator of everything, and another realm called the Realm of Dragons. This realm was the one that could perform extremely high powers and cause various catastrophes. It was a power that would go beyond the power of any of the other gods. If we analyze it all, maybe he could fear even more powers than Zeno-sama himself. For some reason, I prefer to believe that my father was right. He knew that from Zalama's thoughts and ideals, he could want to break up and cause anything. So we really need to understand the battles will still get more intriguing. Zalama's powers were extremely catastrophic. My father, alongside the angels who decided to stay by his side, managed to arrest this threat and even the mother of the angels. But apparently what we've seen in the past, perhaps it was not the true reality.
Goku starts to question himself and says, "Like this? What are you saying? What are you talking?" At that moment, Zeno-sama's first guard says, "Something strange is happening. There may be a traitor among us, because how did they make it back? To me, it doesn't matter. I seem to be getting it now. Angelic power and dark magic power in a war sometimes mean nothing. Sometimes we just have to solve the whole situation like real barbarians, throwing punches and proving that we are the strongest. Son Goku, I think it's important for you to understand anyone's ideal here. The only thing you need to know is the level of power these guys are showing. They don't want to bring any peace to our universe. They just want to destroy everything and show that they are the strongest. At that moment, you will be able to choose which side you are on." Goku starts watching and says, "I don't know why you're asking me this. We came here just to train with the Great Priest, and if we analyze it, maybe it was your fault. So much so that the High Priest let his guard down and this woman is here in front of him." At that moment, the High Priest was silent, just watching. The High Priest watches Zaika and speaks, "Divine redemption, secret sealing technique." At that moment, the High Priest will try to strike the blow on the Mother of Angels. Merus holds his hand and says, "Don't you dare. You as being and the creator of everything, letting their taunts work out is a mistake. Even if Zalama is back, we will be able to resolve the battle against everyone. After all, this is a heavenly war." For a few moments, the Great Priest, who was the example of calm in person, lost his patience. But after the words of Merus, he even returned to his normal sanity. The High Priest begins to laugh. Zaika is surprised. The High Priest says, "It doesn't matter who you bring back or what you do. Know that even though you are very powerful, currently all our universes have different powers and are increasingly stronger. There are warriors here who are mortal and have a high potential to defeat many gods of destruction and many angels. You should believe more in your army as we believe in our warriors. We as celestial beings will be the last to engage in battle, so until then, we will not meet again." Zaika is surprised that Daishinkan continued with a calm in his body. Zaika starts laughing and says, "Very well. Worthy of the Great Priest. I hope my visit has been good for you. After all, I am the Mother of Angels. Boy, Goku is your name, isn't it? And are you Broly? I really heard great things from you guys. I would like them to ally themselves with me, but looking at this, I realize that it will not be possible. So know that no matter how powerful you are, we will finish you off. Soon we will see each other again." Zaika, the Mother of Angels, leaves the Celestial Palace. Moments pass after the conversation of Zeno's first guard next to the Great Priest, Goku, Broly, and Merus. Everyone ends up agreeing. Goku starts to smile and thanks him for the training he and Broly did. A whole day passed in the High Priest's hall. The High Priest begins to laugh and says, "At least now you already know some of the threats that will happen here." Goku gets excited to fight. Zeno's first guard continues with a serious expression and says, "Interesting. I want to see soon what you will be able to do." Zeno's first guard enters into an agreement with the High Priest and saw that the best course would be to leave it in the hands of mortals and right after the gods fight. At that moment, Meira smiles and says that she will fight alongside Goku in the Celestial War. Goku and Broly say goodbye to the Great Priest. The two teleport directly to the planet Beerus. Whis says, "Finally you arrived." Goku questions himself. What happened to the planet that half of it is all destroyed? At that moment, Whis uses a revitalization technique and makes the planet Beerus return to normal. Whis says, "You can rest assured, it's okay. It's just Mr. Beerus who decided to carry out a new training after millennia." Goku is impressed and says, "What? Did Mr. Beerus start training again?" To be continued. Ultra Goku and Ultra Vegeta finally meet. There are 3 days left until the beginning of the Celestial War. Gon and Beerus finish their training inside the room of the gods on planet Beerus. Goku questions himself. What is Mr. Beerus up to doing another training? Mr. Beerus always sought to just observe everyone's training. How can we all see this performance? What's happening? Alright, looks like everyone is getting stronger. Goku prepares to head back to Earth. At that moment, Whis says, "Perhaps it would be interesting not to comment at this moment that Gon is his son, Mr. Goku. Imagine what everyone would think. It would raise many questions and still be difficult to answer. Perhaps this could cause some meltdowns within all the people who know Mr. Goku." At that instant, Gon starts watching and says, "It's okay, Mr. Whis, I'll let you. I think I can understand very well what is going to happen." Vado smiles and says, "Maybe Mr. Goku's wife, Gohan and Goten found this whole situation pretty weird. Mr. Goku's wife could even fight him. Well, it's better that things stay the way they are. Son Goku, I hope you get stronger and we can emerge victorious from this war. Still, everything is just the beginning. A great battle will develop and I believe in the potential of all Saiyans. It seems that this conviviality we had during these days made us very close, and whether I want it or not, I am now worried about you. If all mortals from these universes are lucky, we will only enter the battlefield once the High Priest's order is given. Tomorrow, the meeting of the angels has already been scheduled. The High Priest has something to talk to us in the meantime. Take the day to rest and see everything that will happen." At that moment, Goku next to Broly and Gon thank Beerus and Whis for all the training and all the skills that were being shown. At that moment, Goku alongside Broly and Gon teleport to Earth. Moments ago on Earth, Gohan was getting anxious because he knew that the Celestial War was about to begin. Gohan says, "Vegeta looks like we train and become much more powerful. Goten and Trunks are getting ready. Mr. Piccolo is coming. Looks like all the warriors on Earth are here, but he is still missing." At that moment, an enraged Vegeta speaks.
"Very well, this guy must have gotten a lot stronger too, but I already surpassed his powers. Kakarot, let's go soon. Show up."
Everyone was waiting for Goku. At that moment, Goku, Broly and Gon appear on Earth in Universe 7 in front of all the Z warriors. Goku speaks. "Hey guys, did you miss me?" Everyone starts to rejoice and everyone starts to be happy. The image of Goku brought hope to Earth because of all the times Goku saved them. A small flashback arises of Goku and in all the battles he has had. Vegeta watches and notices that Goku has gotten much stronger. Vegeta starts to smile. It seems that everyone started to rejoice at that moment. Gohan watches and speaks. "It seems that in the course of all these days, each one here has had a more intense battle. We still carry out several trainings. We always knew that since that tournament of power, all the things that happened there showed that even more intriguing battles would take place. It seems that as we always seek to save the Earth and we seek to save the universes, an enemy could always appear along the way. But still, we know what the real goal is. So let's resolve this whole situation. I know what everyone here is capable of. Goku starts to smile and says, "You must have gotten much stronger. I'm sure that way we can resolve any situation." Vegeta in a few moments activates his Ultra Ego, observes and speaks.
Kakarot, Broly, did you bring a visitor? But who is this boy?
At that moment, everyone watches Gon. Gohan and Goten start talking. "You are a lot like us. What's going on here?" Goku starts to speak. "It's because he is..." At that moment, Broly interrupts Goku and says,
"Be quiet. He's a Saiyan from another universe who came after Mr. Whis' training."
Vegeta has been watching and says,
This boy must be very strong. Very well. Since he will help in the war, let's all go together.
In that instant, Vegeta, after seeing that everyone got stronger, activates your other ego and says,
Kakarot, before this war starts, I need you to fight me.
Gohan and the others begin to observe and speak. "Like this? Vegeta, we have to save our strength for the Celestial War." At that moment, Goku starts laughing and speaks. "I'm sure you have had some seed of the gods here, don't you, Krillin?" Krillin watches and says,
"Yes, we have seeds from the gods for celestial warfare."
Goku says, "Then that will be enough. Let's fight, Vegeta." Everyone starts watching. Gohan says, "It doesn't seem to matter. Even though we are Saiyans, we always want to know about battles. Come on." Goku and Vegeta start to have a big fight. Goku begins to show all his performance by activating his Ultra Instinct transformation. Goku's powers rise more and more and they get bigger. Goku says, "I believe you got much stronger. I always believed in you." A few moments pass. Vegeta observes and speaks.
I'm sure you're hiding the game from me. You managed to get much more powerful, but I won't show you my true essence either. After having trained directly with the Great Priest, I managed to surpass all the powers that should be displayed.
The battle continues. Meanwhile, at Zeno-sama's palace, the High Priest begins to assemble the celestial ceremony. Whis and all the other angels beside the gods of destruction meet the Great Priest. The High Priest says,
"It seems that now all mortals have completed their training. 3 days left until the Celestial War. Now you will need to hear the truth about everything. This is our 15th celestial gathering since the existence of all the angels. We cannot leave all the responsibilities on the mortals, even though all of them have undergone training and become stronger. Yet if they fail, the responsibility falls on us. There are many enemies from the past who, in addition to extreme physical strength, still possess magical powers that are able to match or even surpass Zeno-sama's. Doesn't that get you excited? As critical as the situation is, this is the first time that we will be able to break the rule of angels and engage in a battle, even if it is to bring balance, but to show our true powers. We haven't done that in a long time, but still, I haven't gathered all of you here to say this. Know that the mother of angels, Zaika and Zalama, will probably still attack us at some point in the Celestial War. But there is another being who is even more dangerous than all of them."
To be continued. Who is the High Priest talking about? What's going on in the middle of all this? Regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you arrive here and share your thoughts in the comments below so we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Goku and Vegeta start laughing as they fight. The two had become very strong. All the Z fighters end up being impressed by the level of Vegeta's ultra ego. Vegeta says, "Looks like you keep hiding the game, isn't it, Kakarot? Your skills are not just these. You trained with the Great Priest too, didn't you? Just show me the skill you've learned." At that moment, Goku starts laughing and says,
"See, Vegeta, it's not like that. I can't show you everything I've learned if you don't also show all your power to me."
The two start to smile and start to face each other. Great shudders begin to happen before the earth. Gohan watches and says,
"It's no use. They never listen to me. If this continues, the High Priest will appear here to directly warn of the Great Celestial War. Will he erase us before this battle starts?"
A day passes. There are only 2 days left until the Celestial War. All the Z fighters gather and start talking quietly. Krillin looks at Goku and speaks.
It's Goku. It looks like we're once again going to engage in battle. What could cause the end of the universe? We've always been fighting like this since the beginning. Remember when we were little and the two of us teamed up to enter the Tenkaichi Budokai tournament, and soon after we started to develop great powers. We got good positions in the tournament. After training with Master Kame, we understood the real value of martial arts. Since that time, the threat of Piccolo Daimyo had been created, and if it weren't for you, we would have all been destroyed. Not even Master Roshi had managed to do anything. Soon after, we started to see everything that was happening, and we had to fight the Saiyans. I think that was the first time we saw such powerful guys getting involved in battle. That really was amazing. All the performance that was being shown at that time, everything that was being involved. We could see that the threat was dire. But now it seems that everything is different. Now it seems that we know many warriors from other universes, many extremely powerful beings, and everything will depend on us. Good. I confess that next to all Saiyans, I feel like a very weak guy, but I really want to help you in this fight."
At that moment, Goku starts to smile and says, "Don't worry about it, Krillin. We will all be of great help in order to save the universes. I trust in all your power, and I know that you will get stronger every time. It was amazing all the performance you showed. Come on, Krillin." At that moment, everyone was in a great lull preparing for the big battle. Goten and Trunks, now grown up, started talking.
"It seems that this, aside from the battle we fought together against Majin Buu, this will be the first time that we will fight against formidable beings. We have never fought in a war, have we? Those evil Saiyans that appeared and fought against your father and my brother were extremely strong. I really couldn't understand how such powerful beings existed. It looked like Majin Buu was just the beginning of the threat that was about to appear. Don't you think, Trunks? Good, but I believe we will be able to win."
All Z fighters begin to question themselves until the moment when Gohan, Broly, Vegeta, and Goku gather in the mountains on Earth. The four observe the whole situation with a serious face. At that moment, Vegeta says,
"Come on, now it's time to play for real. Tell me everything you saw. We will talk about what happened here. Come on, son of Kakarot, explain everything."
Daishinkan Palace. The meeting of the angels takes place. Every millennium, there is a meeting of the angels and an extraordinary meeting where all the angels are together with the gods of destruction. The last extraordinary meeting that took place involved the gods of destruction being directly linked to the Tournament of Power because we knew that one of the universes could be destroyed due to the battle that was taking place in the Tournament of the Strongest. At that moment, we began to question ourselves what could really happen in the battle between those who were the most powerful. It seemed that everything that happened in the Tournament of Power was just a training to explain to mortals what could happen and what beings of the same strength power as Zeno-sama could do. The High Priest observes everyone in the meeting and says,
"It seems that we are here again. It seems that after so long, you will participate in a battle. The rule of angels prevents any angel from entering a war except other gods entering into conflict. It gets a little sweaty with a bit of weirdness. We really need to understand what will happen. But I confess that in the face of so many battles,
Sometimes it's a little weird to wonder who could come out victorious or not. I've asked myself this question over and over again. How did they manage to escape? How did the beings of darkness, the gods of darkness, without the help of the Makayoshins, without the help of any other warrior, manage to emerge victorious from here? That sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? Can you understand? I could never think that one of you could betray us. But still, something tells me that between us, whether a god of destruction or an angel himself is the traitor. We all have the power to release the sealing of those who were locked away in the past. I thought 1,000 times about going to Zeno, the one who knows everything, and interrogating him so that he would tell the truth about everything that was happening. But I still thought it would be easier for the real traitor to reveal who he is right now.
At that instant, all the angels and the gods of destruction are shocked. Beerus next to Whis says,
Whis, what does he mean by this? Is there a traitor among us? It's not possible. All the gods of destruction that are here fought in the celestial war of the past. All the angels were present at the training by the angels. The angels who rebelled were those who were being against the 12 universes in the face of all darkness. So it's not possible.
At that moment, Whis raises his hand in front of the high priest and says,
My father, are you sure about this charge?
The high priest smiles and speaks.
It is you who are betraying us.
Whis starts to smile and says,
I would never do that. I know very well about everything that's going on.
Margarita starts to laugh. The high priest watches. Margarita says,
Well, I was never one of the best daughters, but I confess that I love you all very much. I would never be able to do anything with you.
At that moment, the high priest begins to observe with great seriousness and remembers the past in which he was betrayed by Cypher. Cypher, millennia ago. Cypher in heavenly prison says,
One day I will still escape from here, my father, and I will still show my true strength and my true abilities. You will never be able to stop me. I am the one who can do anything, the one who has the true power and essence of the angel of destruction. My brothers who are by my side will do what I want.
The great priest begins to reflect and remembers a specific angel. At that moment, the high priest says,
Well, so who are you? Were you the one at Cypher's side? So you decided to help him?
The high priest reflects and decides not to reveal in front of all the angels who the traitor was. On the contrary, the plan of the high priest is different. He has already decided to tell everyone the essence of Zalama, and it falls. The high priest speaks.
I don't know if you know the level of the enemy that is about to want to attack us. That enemy who possesses the power of destruction and creation stronger than even Zeno-sama. The power of angels is extremely high, perhaps one of the strongest races in the universe. But we still have to watch out for the dragon race. Sakai's plan is apparently perfect, gathering the strongest Saiyans, the cold demons themselves, and the cats of destruction. The other angels who rebelled against us and the gods of destruction who are even on the side of Zel, the god who has the power to cancel the energy of angels. We'll still have to fight. That guy who was the only one who managed to defeat me.
All the angels begin to be impressed and say,
Was there a being who managed to defeat our father in combat?
The high priest watches and speaks.
I'm going to tell you how my fight against Zalama was. I will explain how I am alive to this day.
First Celestial War, millennia ago.
The high priest was still undergoing training to become the father of all angels. All beings of the angelic race have an extremely high level of power and more resistant than all races. They are considered the protection race that are always on the side of the strongest gods. There were two other angels that equaled the high priest at that time, who were waging battles against the most powerful ones. In a world where power is needed, the one who is strongest is the one who makes the rules. The great priest was not yet acclaimed as he is today. He wasn't among the most powerful in the universe. The great priest waged several battles against different beings that appeared in all universes. The first celestial war is considered the bloodiest war of all, where very powerful angels fought amongst themselves, and the most powerful race of all essence, that was the race of dragons, became involved in the war. The dragon race had a somewhat different potential. The power of the dragon race was totally different than the power of others. Zeno-sama is considered the supreme being among all, since he can erase the universe he wants whenever he wants. That was enough for Zeno-sama to end anyone's existence. Zeno-sama managed to accomplish incredible things, and over time he was considered the supreme being and the great priest for agreeing with his ideals and believing that the world needed a ruler. He started helping Zeno-sama alongside his guards who were always on his guard. The great priest began to take care of his palace, showing his full potential in the face of all the war that was taking place there. As time passed, the great priest increased his abilities, but he feared the race that was the most powerful, the race of dragons. Dragons could accomplish whatever they wanted. At that time, dragons with the power of creation and the power of destruction in their bodies could fulfill wishes, the greatest gift among all mortal existence. What for Zeno-sama's own gods and for everyone else could be something quite catastrophic. The gods needed to come to an agreement, but most of the time it was too complicated for someone to give in. If someone went mad, the end times could be brought about. The best decision is not always the one that could happen. The great priest stands face to face with Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. The high priest says,
"It seems like it doesn't matter what happens. No matter how many combinations occur, we will always find each other. Isn't that right, my old friend?"
Zalama watches and speaks.
Really, you become more powerful by every moment. Maybe if you stay alive, it will be a big problem for me, Daishinkan. So for that, I will have to end your existence now.
Zalama versus Daishinkan, the first battle that defined the future has begun. Palace of Zeno-sama. Zeno-sama's guards start talking and say, "This heavenly war is getting too complicated. We could help the high priest. We could help Daishinkan. Lord Zeno trusts him. Zeno-sama believes that the future of everything will be tied in his hands. We need to stay here in case any threats come to interfere." Mysterious angels appear in front of the guards of Zeno-sama's guards. Zeno-sama's first guard says, "So that means we have a visitor here. What do you mean by having the audacity to come here? To fight? Trying to capture His Majesty? Does this mean that you intend to do this? Something catastrophic could happen around here. They want to capture Zeno-sama as if we were going to let that happen. They should know because of all the heavenly entities we were chosen to protect Lord Zeno-sama." The first unknown angel watches and speaks.
"You are nothing. I don't know what you came here to do. Zeno-sama's body needs us, and we will finish him off." Observation: the ability to erase anyone's existence on certain angels didn't work. Zeno-sama's power was nullified by the ability of certain angels. His body was not yet adapted in physical strength. That's why it needed the protection of its guards.
Zeno-sama's guards begin to laugh and prepare for combat stance. The unknown angels face Zeno-sama's guards and a catastrophic battle begins to take place in Zeno-sama's palace. At that time, all the other angels that we currently know were angel apprentices. The high priest was younger and yet he was fighting in the Great War. The great priest was waging a great battle using various celestial techniques against the dragon Zalama, who laughed and said, "Daishinkan, you won't be able to beat me. You don't have powers for that. Pay close attention.
All the essence and all the power that I possess now is more than necessary for me to finish off anyone. For a long time you wanted to control the dragon's powers, as if we had any fear or feared you. I've always fulfilled the agreement with Zeno-sama, but all the decisions you make don't make any sense. If we have the power to be free and realize our own ambitions, we can accomplish whatever we want. You didn't want to join me, my friend. Why, that will be forced to send you to another dimension that you will never get out of it. You must understand that my true power comes from millennia ago. I am the true God of everything. I am the true God of creation. No one will ever be able to defeat me. It's all a matter of time before I finish you all off. Look at this. Check it out. Do you understand what the gift of the power of a wish means? We dragons are the creators of the Dragon Balls, the spheres that conduct spiritual and celestial energy. Each dragon, according to its power level, has the essence of creating a sphere. Not even Zeno-sama and not even anyone else would ever be able to utilize these powers. All universes need us. We have the strength to accomplish whatever we want, and we can become the supreme gods of everything.
The great priest with much weakness speaks. Does not matter. All the power you have can become a big catastrophe in the future. The power to wish what you want is a gift, but since we are gods, this gift has to be earned by mortals. We cannot do as we please. This is wrong. If that's what you really want and there's no way we can come to an agreement, you'll have to be sealed right now. It doesn't matter what you do.
At that moment, the high priest begins to raise his power even more and says,
"Secret technique of angels, heavenly energy of creation, take the most powerful blow now, divine redemption."
The ultimate celestial blow is unleashed on the ultimate dragon. Zalama is impressed. Zalama says,
"Very well, since it is so, receive my attack. 1,000 heavenly horde of 1,000 dragons."
At that moment, a spiritual energy of 1,000 dragons is released on the high priest and equalizes with the divine redemption energy of Daishinkan. A big explosion happens. Daishinkan is thrown away. Zalama starts to laugh. For the first time, we see a warrior who did not fear Daishinkan, a being of the dragon race, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. What happens to Zalama? What is the true background of the god of the Super Dragon Balls? Back to current times. The high priest at the angels' meeting continues to speak.
"Good, that was part of my battle against Zalama."
At that instant, the high priest made a serious face. The angel Mojito from Universe 9 looks on smiling and says,
"But my father, so does this mean that you lost the first celestial war?"
The great priest starts to smile and says,
"Maybe I had lost. Back then I didn't possess 1% of the powers I possess today. I was a prodigy, and in the first celestial war, I fought as part of the highest echelon. I fought at just a young age, but I didn't fight Zalama alone."
In a few moments, the angel Zaika appeared.
I didn't know which side she was on, and right after, we had the presence of a Saiyan.
All are amazed and say,
"Did a Saiyan get involved in the celestial war?"
Beerus starts watching. Whis starts to smile. The high priest watches and speaks.
"Yes, this Saiyan was the one who saved me, and together we managed to resolve the situation. The first Saiyan god, Yamoshi."
The high priest kept talking about the celestial war to the angels at the extraordinary meeting in the palace. The meeting of the angels continued to take place. The Z fighters on Earth were preparing for the next celestial battle. Meanwhile, in another universe, those erased by Zeno-sama in the past and brought back by the mother of angels, Zakai. Universe 14.
So far, we have little information about Universe 14. This is the universe that after the return of Zaika with the horde of angels from the 6 universes previously erased by Zeno-sama has returned and has some mysteries that are distinguished from other universes. In other universes, several gods and angels have thoughts of destruction, but this universe is different. Ideas are shown in a different way. The error of this universe is mortals. Mortals are to blame for everything. They who create the destruction and resolve themselves, they attack each other. Yet there is still a savior, a warrior who is the apex of justice and seeks to bring good to all. This universe lives in peace. Humanity remains at peace, having a hero. This blue-skinned hero with a gigantic halo on his back. He used to protect all mankind from all evil. Universe 14. Earth. Several enemies begin to rob the Earthlings. The enemies began to laugh, saying that the law didn't work on that planet and that no one could stop them. Humans cry, and everyone cries out for help. The mysterious being appears through teleportation and with a frightening and tormenting look says, "Get out of here!" The bandits are hurled away. Soon after, the whole population thanks him. Everybody says, "He is incredible. He will always be here to save us. He will always do whatever he can to help us. He is fantastic. I knew it. We don't need to fear anything. Dear Lord Kai will always be here with us." At that moment, the being with bluish skin, big muscles, and extremely strong appearance reveals his name is Kai. At that moment, Kai speaks. "It seems they all need me. Looks like I have to save everyone. I don't agree with the ideal of any of these other beings who want to do what they want. These brothers of mine think that just giving orders or showing that they are superior is the best thing to do. But I know why I'm here, and the right thing is to be able to protect everyone. All these planets are under my protection." The whole population starts laughing and rejoices, saying, "He is like an angel. He will always be here to protect us. He is wonderful." The Earth girls of Universe 14 smile and say,
"Lord Kai is fantastic. No one will ever be able to defeat him."
At that moment, another being appears in front of Kai. A darker-skinned being starts walking closer to Kai. At that instant, Kai looks on with a serious face. Soon after, Kai changes his features and starts to smile and says, "See if it's not you, Saki. Are you really mad that I did this here? I just protected them all. See how they adore me. I am the hero of this planet. Every planet needs a hero and a savior. Look how amazing it is." At that moment, Kai is slapped on the head by Saki. At that moment, Saki says, "I am the god of destruction of this universe, and I have to bring balance. Mortals have to do what they want, whether they are bad guys or what exists on this planet. It doesn't matter. You have to train me, and I have to bring balance. That was our role." At that moment, Kai observes and speaks. "None of that. Since Zaika came back, she even said that the rules would be different, and that's why we would have to fight the Great Priest and all of them to show that the new world would be created. And I am Kai, the strongest angel. I'm not a fan of magic. I solve everything with my fists." The angel of Universe 14 has revealed his identity. The angel of Universe 14 finally appears. Kai of the Angelic Fist. Alright partner, why don't you whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos and stay well connected to our entire universe of Z Warriors. Let's get back to it. Planet Earth. At that moment, Goku, Gohan, Broly and Vegeta started talking. Vegeta says,
Very strong enemies appeared here to face us. I fought guys who were extremely powerful. But still, don't you think it's weird? I'm sure most of the guys we face might not be the strongest. Perhaps there were many more powerful beings. If you stop to think, there were guys who could solve any kind of battle. If I'm not mistaken, when Mr. Whis and Mr. Beerus spoke to me and Kakarot, there were several other universes and several other beings that could end them all. But it was said that Zeno-sama erased 6 of the 18 universes. So far we only know this angel you mentioned called Cypher, Zyros, and the mother of all angels. We know 3 of the 7 of the angels. If the mother of angels is the supreme mother, there are 4 angels that we still don't know who have their unknown powers. Other than that, there are still their own gods of destruction that we don't know what their powers are. As you said, that Ziel guy can nullify the power of angels, so the gods of destruction are even more powerful, apart from the mortals of these other universes who can be a big problem. Who would have thought that in the Tournament of Power, Jiren being mortal could have such powers that even match the gods of destruction? What do you say about it?
At that instant, Gohan starts to speak. That's true, Vegeta, but we still can't forget all the training we've had. In the Tournament of Power, we emerged victorious. My father's power impressed even the High Priest himself and all the other gods of destruction because we possess the ability that would make everything be created in a different way than the analysis of all the gods. Can you understand this? So no matter what happens, we will be the strongest. Broly says, I'm very new in matters to protect the earth and show my skills, but I'm sure that together we will get stronger and stronger. The Celestial War is approaching. Maybe it was time for us to take a breath and rest a little. What I learned during all these months of training is that the heart of an enraged Saiyan can only make us make the wrong decisions. We have the potential to win. We just need to bring the lull and awaken our true powers. Goku starts to smile and says, I am very excited for this war. I think the best way would be for us to start fighting right now. At that moment, everyone perceives a great shudder light years from there. Goku is fascinated and shocked at the same time. Gohan, Vegeta, and Broly as well. Vegeta says,
How is it possible? This feels like angelic energy light years from here, but at the same time, combined with that of a god of destruction. It's as if there is a being that possesses catastrophic and peaceful energy, similar to Broly combined with Whis. What's happening?
Moments ago in Universe 14, Saki and Kai had teleported directly to the planet of destruction Saki, the god of destruction of Universe 14. An enraged Kai begins to land several punches on several trees. Saki begins to speak. This can only be a joke. It seems that you are the true god of destruction, but in fact, you are the angel of this universe. At that moment, Kai speaks. I am the most powerful of all. I need to protect everyone I want. I'm a hero. I won't let anyone do anything to my universe. My universe was erased in the past just because angels can't engage in battles. That was the rule the High Priest wanted. I would never accept it. So this is what he wants. A big fight with me, and he wants to stop our mother from making her true ideals. If it weren't for the fault of the Father of Angels, my whole universe would be cheering for me. After everything was destroyed, I've been wandering lost for millennia. I will never let that happen again. This time I will stop everyone who turns against me. Zakai, I will be with you until the end. I, as a mightier angel, will show you the true power of the Fist of Justice. I am Kai, the angel of Universe 14. Saki, the god of destruction from Universe 14, starts to laugh and says, It looks like we are prepared for the next celestial war. Universes more powerful than to turn against us. If I were you, I would prepare to cry. To be continued. The strongest angel has finally been revealed. Kai, the true destroyer, finally appears. Which enemies are yet to appear for celestial warfare? There's a day and a half left before the war starts. Alright, my partner, What do you believe and what do you imagine about all of this? Regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you share your thoughts in the comments below so we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.